Alright, is my camera good? Welcome back to another Play and Explain. The main point of recording is I have a 2K running up here. You guys wanted to see more Ontario, so we're going to do that. And then we'll be back to ACR at some point. I played at some wood on ACR today. I don't know why I'm sitting out. It's a bug. But yeah. So I'll give it one more Ontario game because I got a 2K running, and I know you guys like to see the higher the stakes, the more you want to watch. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it going fast enough, but I've been dealt some pretty good hands and made some good money. Yeah, I think I'm probably still down on the day, but I'm actually maybe not including ACR. Definitely down on GG on the day. Yeah, but my ACR I'm up. So we have the for you guys that don't know, the purple is 1K, the red is 2K, and the green is 500. Okay, we're just gonna play B75 range here, I think. Or maybe not range, but this should do it. It's like an okay hand. I don't mind overbetting this. I don't mind checking it. We'll check this time. Here without a spade. I don't think you can pull the pair yet because you can bingo. You know me and my talent. And then you're just reopening for a small amount. There's no point in going too big. I mean, if he has an ace, he's going to have to call. If he has a made hand, he's calling you. But you're mainly polarizing against his bluffs because you can bluff his bluffs for cheap. That's kind of the idea. And his bluffs, in theory, would have some equity against your non-paired hands. Here on the river, we're just going to bet 75. And it looks like we got probably by. Oh, he just has an ace. Well played. Same plan here. So we lost some money on the 2K. It's gonna hurt my pockets, bro. That's hurting my pockets. My lifetime 2K sample is insane. I just run so good. So we're gonna keep it going. It's more of it's more my manifesting skill than anything. So it's a skill issue. I'm not gonna regress to the mean. It's talent that has got me to run so good at 2K. Talent alone. I like B20. Obviously this is like heads up. It's like you're gonna check like he's gonna have more deuces and threes than us by a good amount. But B20 is nice because if he has a hand like eights, nines, you're putting pressure on him to have to worry about this guy overcalling. Because for example, the EV in a hand, knowing this guy calls, has changed just drastically. So picking a small size, you can really hurt your opponent. For example, if he has it's like pre-flop. If he calls and he gets raised and he's calling so many hands that fold to a raise, well, yeah. Now we gotta play careful in the turn though. Because of, yeah. I don't think versus this player I'm going to be getting too many value hands, and he just snap paws it. But we're going to have to call once at least. I'm not going to check fold the king. And we're going to check. Not loving this. This guy actually just bang a set versus me. Like, I don't know what he bluffs here. Feel like I lost. Yeah. I'm just gonna fold here. I'm really hoping I see a check. And yeah, nice hand. Just gonna show it to him. Demoralize him a little. Obviously great bluff catcher, but I just don't believe that he's bluffing me on that board. I just don't think so. Especially with his 2x sizing. I don't know. Am I exploitable? Maybe. I mean, it gets a little weird when he goes 2x pot. It just seems a little... I mean, it could be a bluff. It definitely could be. I mean, he definitely has bluffs. It's definitely a bluffy line, too, to be fair. Like, it seemed like he wanted to bet a size that would get me off a king. I don't really know. Like, the pot on the turn just seems a little stupid to me. Like, just bet bigger. Because you're basically betting a size that is trying to make... You're not trying to make a hand weaker than a king indifferent. So, why don't you bet a size that you make a king indifferent? If that makes sense. Just seems like the safe the max you can confidently ensure that a king will call you. Because if you overbet, oh, maybe he folds king jack. I'm scared. I don't know. Do I possibly get curious? Sometimes in a pool like Ontario, you can play a little. Like sometimes I play lines out of curiosity to a degree. Damn, this should be a BBJ. In the sense of, if I think a line is close, maybe I want to know what they have. So you have that slight EV. But when you're playing a 2K, I'm not going to get that EV back ever. So, okay, versus the rec, I'm just going to call. Half pot, I'm going to call again. Take it down. Alright, this is a pretty good hand to squeeze. It'd be sucked to get jammed on, but ugh. Okay, I'm just gonna go half pot and then jam. Okay, whatever. Let's hope he bluffs me. There's no point of jamming. We're just gonna check call, check call. Maybe we could jam now. We should have jammed. I should have donk jammed. Maybe he calls that. Here you can play. Actually, no, you can't play over better check because the straight came in. I'm gonna 1/3 this one. Sorry. The multiple tables while recording. Sometimes I perform pretty bad. I realized I should have donked river, but I thought there was a high likelihood that he was bluffing me. Compared to the like, I thought there's a good chance he reps the flush. I have an ace. So I know you're like, oh, you have an ace, so he's less likely to have an ace that reopens. But I mean, I didn't think he was betting a queen on the turn. All right, here was the half pot. It's tempting to raise it, but I'm just gonna check. I'm just gonna let it go. And let's make it bang. Is this a little too big? Probably. Maybe not. I mean, if he's only calling flushes and boats there, that's probably the size where you punish him the most for it. Yeah, it seemed like a good amount to make a queen indifferent, because that's obviously the intent behind the size, is to be a flush / boat size. Is it theoretically optimal? I don't know. A lot of poker can be intent. Just because you run a hand and it chooses a different size, that can be a lot of factors, in the sense that the solver might want to emphasize something else in the range that you have. For example, maybe, oh, you want to go polar for a certain reason, but it prefers to attack another part of your opponent's range, and you need the stronger hands to do that. So then you can't afford to go polar and stuff like this. But that's why I recommend like learning theory, is because you don't actually copy a solver. Like, a lot of people online will like really badly cook GTO, and it just comes across really cringe and insecure to me. Like, in the sense of, like, it is so easy to... It's not easy. Like, there's a lot of stuff, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of experience that goes into poker, a lot of nuance and, like, skill. But it's like, how could you be so strongly opinionated about something that you're literally admitting you don't know anything about? The only way they know how to cope is like, oh, these guys memorize a chart and they play exactly like a chart. Like, I don't know, it's just like stupid to me. Like, I've never met someone like that, but yet that's the stereotypical guy. I don't know one guy like that, but everyone pretends that this stereotypical guy exists. Like, show me him. I don't know. And any guy I know that's like that is crushing. Like, they're just absolutely crushing. So like, the only guys I know that play like computers are crushing. Like, they're just crushing. I know very few people who play like absolute. Oh, that guy's a GTO player. I don't know. When I was playing live in Vegas, I used to hear that a lot. Dude, if you play like a computer, you're killing. It's just true. It's a good problem to have. Yeah. And you sleep well too, probably. They probably sleep really well because they know they're winning. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. We change up the energy drink for 2K. We have the Red Bull now for the hyper caffeinated 2K experience. Let's go. I don't know when I'll post this video. I kind of liked my last video, so I might give it a week just to see if it bangs and then post this banger. You know, because I'm only posting bangers now. I think that's... Oh! I think we're tossing this one to the Himmies. It's a small size, but he's not that deep. You're gonna check this board a shit ton. Because he's gonna have more of these, I mean, it's cut off, so it's not necessarily true, but he's gonna have, like, queen deuce suited. Like, he basically... A lot of people like to defend every single suited hand. God, this line is crazy. I want to fold, but then I also want to raise. Oh, it's so easy to defend a checking range here. Yeah, we gotta... We'll call. We obviously lose now, because there's just no way he has bluffs, like Jack 10 of hearts. And then if you do, you should bluff that. I see a lot of people bluff here, and then they... Yeah, whatever, nice hand. I was thinking of folding, I probably should have. Ryan goes with the B33 here. I really just don't like it. And I know it's Ryan. And I know, like, in the last video, like, it felt like I was cooking him. He's just running bad. Like, a lot of people saying, like, oh, they show the ace-queen hand, but... Ryan's a G. But I just don't like the B33. Especially that texture. Is this a call? I'm like, I know it's a really high frequency 4-bet, but is it ever a call? I think it's a call. The reason being, this shows how bad I am at the game. But basically, like, a common misconception is that he has a lot more ace-x than I do. You don't really have a lot more ace-x, but what you do have is a lot more strong ace-x. So that's why you bet bigger. Because you bet small, like, I can just call ace-x and queen-x. Like, what are you making indifferent about my hand strategy? Like, obviously, what the main thing people talk about is, oh, the population doesn't raise enough. Because that's true. Population doesn't raise enough. But, I mean, population is going to start raising more the more it's happening. It's a very commonly employed strategy. And if you play on any high stake, people are raising more now. So, it used to be true. Like, people did not raise enough versus it, so you could do this. Alright. This guy's just so nitty, but... I don't know. I'm gonna let it go. I'd rather call King Jack. Even though he's probably has more bluffs with the King. Actually, I don't even know if that's true. Because you could just... the King has more equity, but... He probably has more shitty ace-x than he does king-x. So we probably block more bluffs, actually. Because it's way easier to check back ace-7 offsuit on the flop or ace-7 suited and then overbet it when ace-king gets there. Then it's like... Is this guy disciplined enough with king-8 offsuit? And then is he not range betting flop when he has king-8 off? Like, I don't know. That's like a super big, like, I don't know hand. But sometimes when you don't know, you just gotta commit to what you do know. And sometimes what you know is that guy's tighter than that guy's pretty tight. So, God, I shouldn't talk about exploits. I'm not saying he's like a nit, but I would err on the side of he's tighter than normal. So, it's supposed to going down the rabbit hole of, is he bluffing ace-x more? Is he bluffing king-x more? How good is ace-jack? Do I have to call this? You know? I always first think of, like, an exploit, and then I think of theory. Because then... I think what some people do is they realize they don't have an exploit and then they guess what the exploit is. It's like, why are we guessing what the exploit is? That's why it's good to know theory. But you should know. If you have an exploit, you should think about what that exploit means and how it impacts the hand. And then if you don't know, you should know it roughly the idea. You're not going to be perfect, you know. Especially like most people watch my channel are not Linus Love. You know, I'm not. And yeah, that's what I think. But I think a lot of people get in this habit of never learning in poker. By that I mean they're just guessing exploits all the time, and their reward system comes down to if they won the hand or not. So, like, for example, if you were playing versus a bot on GTO Wizard or something, for example, like, the way some people play poker, they would literally be like, I knew he was over bluffing here. I know his... You know what I'm saying? They just have no... And when you do that, and even though it's playing perfect, you know. And I'm a victim of this too, so I know people who play that, and I try not to be that exploitative. So I couldn't imagine if someone's like a super exploitative person that they wouldn't fall into that pit hole. I don't know. With the king and no heart, he's gonna continue more often. I'm just gonna check this one. It's a big better check for me. So yeah. And yeah, just gonna check a good ace then. Nice hand. I like block on the river from him. Just don't think it gets reopened that often. And I don't think in theory it gets reopened that often. Due to, like, I do have a lot of ace-x. It's just true. I don't love it, but might fold. The jack is like weird because you would think like a jack actually blocks a lot of turn bluffs and it doesn't block river bluffs. For example, like king 6. But I'm gonna call here. We're a little above 100 bigs. You know what? I'll call. Nice. I was thinking because like jack 10 and queen jack, they might bet turn. And then they might not even bother bluffing river because they kind of block folds. So the jack is probably actually okay in theory by the river. I'm gonna call here with the 5 inside. Is it a call? Eesh, I don't know. Gonna block. A lot of queen X can block. I don't mind checking actually. I think I prefer check. Like the idea is usually when you hit the river, you want to pick a smaller size. This is just a normal tip that like almost everyone can implement. Just when you hit a turn, when you hit a river, when you hit the new card, a lot of times that's the one you want. Like in a check line, that's when you want to usually either check again or a block bet. You don't really want to pick a big size because the idea is your opponent. If your opponent checked the turn, he's not like usually like obviously you have some traps, you have some, but in theory like you're betting most of the time with your good hands. So for example, there I hit a 5, so I'm blocking him from having a hand like pocket 5s. You know what I'm saying? I'm blocking him from hitting the river with 6-5 in the check line. Hands that would have checked that now improved, I block them. So I want to like keep more. Basically, he's gonna have less value combos I can get value from here, right? Like if he checked a hand like queen 5 suited, I block him from hitting that. Whereas if I had like a6, oh, I can bet big now because maybe he has queen 5. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, in that spot, I'm just spitballing an example quickly, but could have bet river here, I think. But yeah, it's probably okay. It's probably fine. I'm just a nit. Too busy explaining. But yeah, the idea is, yeah. So yeah, when you hit the card, that's usually when you want to err on the side. This is not always true. I think it's pretty intuitive. You'll find the spots where that holds up and where it doesn't. Like maybe it doesn't hold up too much there, but there's some notes. For example, an ace on the river or something like this. Well, maybe actually an ace is a worse example actually. But. All right, bumping it up in the 2K. Oh, let's go, Chip. Oh, I did not mean to call here. I meant to fold. Mouse slip. Even though I don't even think I mouse slipped. Like I just for some reason thought I was on fold. Like I genuinely meant to fold. And we get Giga punished. We block every single... We might have the worst bluff catcher ever. Maybe... That's pretty bad. This isn't open too. God, I need to recalibrate for a sec here. I'm recording for 18 minutes. And I've been yapping the whole time. Just pure yap. Oh. All right, here I like big better check on a 38. We can. It's okay sometimes to bet this worst king X, but when you have bad suits, we're gonna get actually called by some like king 8 suited, king queen of hearts, king jack of hearts, and so like we lose the extra equity. And obviously, I think I'm gonna have to call here because of how capped we are in theory, how many potential bluffs there are in theory, and the fact that we block a lot of his nutted range in 2 pairs and sets with the 5. And then I think I'm going to look up river because like jack 9, 9, 8, 8, 6. Is he ever bluffing? No. But if he is the type of player that bluffs this line, he could be over bluffing. And I can't know. And I like the 5. Nice hand. But yeah, that's my main advice in poker. I think if you focus on what you know and actually try and improve the idea of knowing more of what you know, like if that makes sense, like knowing more, then and actually like using that knowledge to drive your win rate and drive your how like your results, as opposed to just thinking that like anyway, let me but yeah, if you focus more on what you know, it's an easier way to actually improve because you can start to see where your results are going to a degree, and the more you can start to know and capitalize off of what you do know, yeah, that's what I recommend. So at the start, I recommend learning a good amount of theory to understand how the game works, because you have to know what over bluffing, under bluffing is, why you size the way you do in certain nodes, like the concept of why you make someone indifferent. It's pretty irrelevant until you play higher stakes, I would say, because almost everyone's exploitable lower. Because even the guys who are good enough to not be exploitable purposely open themselves up to exploits by exploiting population. Like you'll see this even with like the great, like really good regs when they come down in stakes. They play in a way where you could exploit them because, for example, they think population at 200 NL doesn't bluff. Well, now you can start bluffing these regs super aggressively. You know, they think they don't fold, population doesn't fold. Even though that guy knows he should be calling this, he might, you know, like you guys watch my videos. How exploitable would I be if you could, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying I'm the best ever, but, you know. Anyway. With the ace of clubs here, we're just going to call. I guess we'll be 33. I don't love it with this hand, but we kind of dominated a lot of his 7x. I don't think this was a call, but I'm going to call it for undisclosed reasons. And we're going to lead turn here. Good check, but we unblock these flush draws. And we're going to call, obviously. And what are we hoping for? An 8 sounds too risky. I think I'm going to need a queen of spades here to feel pretty safe. Yikes. So we lose the king 10. Yeah. Queen jack, ace queen. I think we win on that card though. I'm going to keep it a buck. I think we're winning on that one. I mean, Ryan gonna play 2 heads up hands. I think that's the tradition. Me and him are always the last 2, and I quit him heads up. Full disclosure, I quit Ryan heads up, guys. So, full disclosure. Gonna open the queen 8 off. Somehow I'm playing heads up versus this guy. Oh my god! Everyone in the crowd's on their feet. Guys, stand up if you're watching. I need y'all to stand up. Okay. Bro, that would have been crazy. You guys didn't stand up enough. Oh, it looks like the game's running. What the hell? Okay, so I check like this one. I think it's like actually a pretty common bet, but I don't know. I check. And I'm just going to call. I'm going to call river because I'm a psycho. He does have some queen X, queen 10, queen 9. Yeah, he blocks, repping like a hand. And I own him with my insane skill, as usual. Here at the king clubs, not the greatest card. Gonna check. The extent of my knowledge. Bet with good cards. By that I mean I don't block backdoor flush draws. So my hand has less playability going forward as a bluff, mainly. But in some cases that can be an advantage, but it's mainly with like a very, very strong hand like ace king. I realize like just because some hands that are worse call you is not that worth. Gonna call here. Gonna check. And we're gonna spike a 9 and everyone's gonna go crazy. The crowd's gonna go, whoa, okay. Six more minutes left. I play this 1K for the night. Normally with the 2Ks I try to play 6 max just for like the mental. Like I'm definitely, okay, never mind. I was about to say some pointless stuff. So I block bet here. Why am I playing heads up versus this guy? Like, can we... Like, why are the rigs sitting at this table? I guess they're that scared of me. I'm actually pretty scary. Like, I'm a scary guy. Like, I know I'm nice on the videos, but... Oh, is it heads up now? Or are you accidentally sit up? Or... I am pretty scared. You guys would be scared if I was on the table, right? Like, if you guys played with me, let me know in the comments below. And let me know what you guys want to see about... Do you want the solver hands? Like, do you want me to do... Because I'm thinking of skipping it again for this video. Or maybe I won't. Let me know what do you guys want the breakdowns or not? Because I think the video can run smoother without them. More fluid. Because I was looking, my watch retention kind of drops off with them. But then I think like I enjoy doing the content, so I don't know. I might sometimes put it in, sometimes not. But if you guys really want it, like I don't know. Or let me know how I can improve it in a way. Maybe I do it shorter, or maybe because maybe I do too long trying to explain stuff. I'm just gonna block here. Seems like I was thinking with the fold mindset there. You have to have your fold and your value mindset, you know. Sure. God, that's like I'm just saying the word sure. that's the right thing to do, poker. Your actions don't matter. Poker nihilism. I don't know if that's the right way to describe it, but all right. Okay, here this isn't usually a 3-bet, and then when you do, I think it's a call. It could be sometimes a fold. Though I've heard on this flop, it's not that good. Okay, can we get value here? No. I'm just gonna check because I'm scared. I'm scared, even though it's definitely a value bet, probably because I don't know. You just actually come on, man. That's not fair. I said, can we get value? We need the one hand we can get value. That should be illegal, man. Queen, jack, and jacks. Come on, Ryan, fold, man. He doesn't want the smoke. Is the guy gonna play a hand? Yoo-hoo. God, I'm getting toxic. This is how I really am. The dark side of Schrodinger's VPIP. Alright, we can close this table and play 4. Link in the description for the overlay software I use. You see, now I can activate my new overlay in real time. It's free for if you play lower stakes. They only charge you if you play higher. I believe that might not still be the case. I'm like 90% sure though, because why would they change that? But I don't know. But yeah, you get 10% off your first purchase. So when you guys eventually move up, because you're on this channel, you're going to move up because this is a reg channel where the regs win. God, I sound like a fake guru now. But yeah, I don't make much money from it. Okay, I don't think I literally have made $0 from it. But I think I made some, but I have to like cash it out. It might be like a couple bucks, but I don't know. I feel like a big shot with an affiliate program. Okay, don't judge me, guys. Gonna call the queen jack and wreck him. If he bets, we might have one of those hands that actually just wants to fold to the pussy bet, unfortunately. You know what, like, it should be like a high frequency check here or a big bet. So like, I don't really love the B33. And then when they B33, it's like, it's such a sign of like, you're betting a small size, but it's a sign of real strength. So if I have like a hand that's kind of indifferent, I'm just going to toss. Especially since I know I'm going to have to bluff later streets anyway because of how often you have to float B33. So then like, when you overfloat it, it just feels kind of, I don't know. This is why I don't film on Ontario as much though, because like look how many games are breaking. Like in the last video I knew the games weren't going to break, but when I rely on Ontario for recording and stuff, that it just gets annoying. Oh, it looks like I had 1K here. Oh, and as far as the balance on my site, guys, I purposely don't keep that much on the site. Yeah, I have like 4K on my ACR. I'm just the degen. I just like having my money in my savings accounts. I know. I'd probably keep a little too less liquid, but you know what? It's worked out for me for a while, so. It looks like this game's going to break again. When I show up, the games blow up. That's the saying. That's what that's like the rule. Yeah. I don't want to play heads up on video, though. I'm going to check here. I haven't been saying nothing because nothing's been going on. I'm sorry. I hope you guys still find this entertaining, though. Like, we could still randomly just play a 2K pot, so. Alright. Did I get it off? No, I didn't. Okay. I don't want to grim. Don't grim, guys. There we go. And if he opens, this is a fold. Like king 5's the bottom. Yeah. Okay, we're going to bet now on the double draw. I'm gonna go with a unique play here. An unpredictable play. Because you're gonna get flatted by a lot of better ace-x in this line, and the worst ace-x is gonna fold. And then you also keep backdoor flush draws in. So like in a small checking range spot, I think having a hand like ace-8. Because ace-9 might call you, but like ace-7 might not. You know what I'm saying? So when an ace comes off, and especially with 2 low kickers, you're gonna be more... So you don't want to isolate yourself really with into a better range, you know. And also you get to keep some ace-x 8x in, which is for sure folding, you know. And we got the sneakiest flush ever. If he jams on me here, man, I'm gonna cry on stream. Dude, that's one thing when you play like tricky and you look like a genius when the flush gets there. Like when every time you ever seen Napoleon bluff the river? Okay, I can't answer that on on video because I'd feel bad about that. But didn't he do that in the video today? He literally did it on video, I'm pretty sure. So I guess that answers the question. The answer is yes. I'm pretty sure he did. Okay, we're gonna call this. I think it can mix folds, but we're a little deeper. I think he's supposed to size up and he didn't, so we're gonna take advantage of that. And I'm gonna leave next blind here. I feel like this line is just overfolded, but could raise here. I actually like the idea of raising when you don't have an over. Ryan might smell it though and just jam on me. I feel like he's the type of guy that would do something. The reason I'm closing tables, I'm about to end video. The logic here is every single card's bad for you. So it makes sense to raise to get value. For example, if I had pocket 10s here, for example, and a 10 comes out, like, okay, that's kind of a worse example. But anyway, the idea is if I had ace-7, an ace can come off, and now I'm beating ace-king. Even 8-7, an 8 can come off, and now I'm like not losing to ace-8. But there's no way for me to really improve. Like if a 6 comes off, I'm still only beating like ace-7. So anyways, now we're going to check, and we're going to bang the river. An absolute reg. And pray that he doesn't have pocket 10s, because that would hurt my feelings. Alright, you gotta pay to play, Ryan. The thing is, there's just no bluffs in this line. I mean, there is, because you can turn anything into a bluff. So, yeah. Me and Ryan have been battling every video. Sorry, man. That sucks. I'm just too good. Anyway. I got one more hand on this 2K, and then I'm out. And we're going to finish that. I don't know if that's a raise. Maybe I'll review that one because it's at the end of the video. Maybe I'll do a little review at the end. I think that's what I'll do. I think I'll review that 7-6 hand. See if I was right. Because I was thinking more of with a heads-up mindset there. But maybe when they size up, you don't play any raises. I don't know. Sorry if I'm just looking at the other monitor. I don't know. I have just no games. This guy's taking 20 years, so I don't know what to do. Oh, that's the worst. When you're bluffing and they hit you with it just one time. That's going to be the most painful thing ever. Mine is I always emoji tilt. I just do tilt and then call. Okay, you can't play just one time and then not do anything. Like either, like, I don't know. Like, is he trying to like draw out a reaction from him? Let me know in the comments, if the guy emoted you with just one time, would you emoji here as Ryan or not if you had value? Probably not, right? Okay, that's an absurd call. Everyone in the crowd is taken aback by that call. Ooh! Ryan's pumped, bro. He deserved that one after how hard I cleared him on the other table. Alright, gonna call. And banged the river. Oh, I just realized I should not open. I'm getting jammed on here. Okay, thank God. And it looks like it's just heads up between us anyway. Oh, this is a good over better check. I shouldn't say this. I know this isn't a grim. Because it's gonna give me button again here. So I should do leave table and we'll... Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. And we got a stack down here. Just magnificent play. Anyway, I might do I probably already did the video. Or maybe I'll do it now. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna do the review now. So stay tuned for the review of the 7-6 hand and maybe another hand if I find one interesting. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, on to the review. It says here B75 or checks preferred. I know in game Ryan picked B50. This recording is a couple days later, cause yeah. Shit, my shit's still working. And then anyway, obviously like a genius, I find the raise here, and it's break even. So it comes down to what you think is more profitable. I think the things to take note of here are the worse your hand is, the more you want a backdoor, and you don't want hearts because you block folds. If you have a stronger hand like ace king, stuff like this, the heart's kind of more preferred. You get worse to call you. So like that's why ace jack really wants to mainly bet when you have the heart, because you're gonna get calls from king jack, king queen, king 10. But anyway, and it's important to find the not king 10 really, but so, and that being said, the raises in position instead of calls are some of these hands that are kind of dominated, and they're like pretty bad, but they have hearts, meaning they unblock a lot of folds. For example, if you raise here, if you look at your opponent's folding range, he's folding the king 9s, he's folding the king, you know what I'm saying. He's folding these hands. Obviously, he's technically has ace 9 of hearts, but in practice, I don't think your opponent's ever gonna find this. So I would say it's an even better raise. So yeah, and and a lot of people don't even actually bet 75 here with hearts in check. They usually, people think if you have more equity, you're gonna bet more. I would say that's a general population exploit. Most people don't understand these concepts, especially in the pool you guys are gonna be playing at. And the reason when you want to raise here more with the 7-6 of hearts is, yeah, you benefit more from folding out these types of hands, and you still get some value from these types of hands, in the sense of there's not a single over that's good for you. For example, ace 8, even though it's a small fraction of your opponent's calling percentage, like if you have 8-7, an 8 can come off, and that increases your EV by a little bit. So if you want to raise the 7x, you prefer to raise the one that can't really benefit at all from a turn card except the 7. Yeah, that's the idea. Because obviously on an 8-7, if your opponent did ace 8, you kind of made some EV from just calling, because when an 8 comes off, you're going to stack him. So that's a slight EV you gain from calling as opposed to raising, whereas 7-6 does not really gain any EV for calling as opposed to raising. So if you're going to raise, you don't need to raise any 7x if you don't want to. If you don't think it's profitable versus your opponent's strategy, that's fine, you know. I don't think 7-6 has to raise, but if you're going to raise a 7x, that's why that 7x is preferred. Anyway. Onto the turn here. It says I want to jam a lot in B75. The sizings are a little messed up from here, so we're not going to pay too much attention to what Ryan did. I could run it with a B50 and a block. I did it, and the no just like appeared kind of clunky, because yeah, it wasn't really playing like the way our hand played out, because Ryan's size on the river is really hard to get. Not really a block river. I know why he did it. I'm not saying it was a bad play, because it's not that theoretical of a play. I don't even think he really lost EV in theory either. So that's not what I'm saying. But yeah, it was just hard to get. I think we were a little deeper too. But yeah, it likes fast playing the 9s. It likes B20 here, so out of curiosity, if you guys want to know the line, basically, it's pretty obvious what happened. I mean, it goes check, check, he bets small, I jam. Ryan calling 9s was like, meh, depends on what I'm bluffing with. Yeah, it's like very break even, so it really comes down to what he thinks my bluffs are. And it's hard to play perfectly that spot in theory, as you can see. Like I was having trouble getting it in a sim, so imagine how imbalanced the average player is going to be in theory. So Ryan's positions, it's 0 EV, it's basically a pure exploit spot. Well, not exploit, but what he thinks is going to happen. But I am curious here, actually, if I B20 reopen, with these types of hands, like what worse is he supposed to be calling me with? I'm assuming he's jamming a lot, right? Because calling out of position here seems kind of not the greatest. He is calling a lot, actually. I guess it's because you just have these overs hands that don't necessarily want to bluff, but like might have the equity to call, because you still get to see a river. Damn, people have to find these like king jack jams on you and stuff. This is kind of crazy. But yeah, anyway, that's been the review. It was kind of a clunky review, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Yeah, gonna try to keep posting good content. I think I'm more focused on every time I have a good session, a good reg battle to record and explain my thoughts, I'm going to capitalize on them more so than the consistency of which I post. But I'm still going to try to be pretty consistent. I think I've enjoyed the last 2 videos I've filmed, so let me know what you guys think, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.